Hey, welcome everybody. 90.Ninety.One. Thank you for checking out. As you can see, and or if you don't know, as far as me personally, I'm not a big Ford guy, but I bought a Ford. I couldn't really refuse the price. It was gonna go to scrap anyway, basically junkyard or whatnot. So it's too good of a truck to let go. Had some issues with it though prior, and that was the whole get. So the issue was they were getting rid of it because the transmission had problems, wouldn't go into gear or nothing. So everybody thought it needed a new transmission, and you know, nobody wanted to put in the work to go do that, because it is a lot of work to take a transmission out and go through that whole process. So I kind of knew what I would be into it for repair. I knew what I would be into for labor and everything like that. So worst case, I would go get a transmission put in. But as you'll see here in this video, we found out that it was something else in the problem. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get into it. I found the issues, a couple issues with the transmission. It's gonna be horrible light. I'm sorry, I'm trying. So this guy, this is where when you're going through your gears, this is what it's rolling on. Each indent is like your park, your neutral, drive, first, second, and maybe one of these is overdrive, whatever. And it rolls on the roller right here, this piece right there. So that way this can go back and forth, and it can push this plunger right here back and forth to allow the fluid to move through the valve body, and that in turn is what gets your gears. So we were in the middle of getting that. I should have a video here that kind of showing what it was wrong before I had taken it out. As you can see, that's broke as shit, and there's really nothing in there. So our thinking is that the shaft goes through, there's a fork or a spring back there. I'm thinking either that's broke or I don't know, something in there, because as you can tell right here, must have got hit. So my thought process on this is, back here the drive shaft for the 4x4 still has the cap in it, so I'm imagining that the U-joint failed, broke, put a hole in the deal there, and whoops, sorry, I'm using my phone, busted all this up, busted the linkage, and the front diff for the 4x4 feels good as far as I can still rotate everything and it doesn't sound choppy or grimy. So instead of pulling the trans right now, I'm going to take this pan off. We're going to look inside, see what we can find damage wise, and hopefully it is a cheap enough fix to where I don't have to drop the transmission and I can just replace those parts. But we shall see. So stay tuned, guys. It'll be a little bit, but I'll be back with an update. So now we finally got everything out. The roll pin was stuck. So that being said, you have your shift linkage here. So right here is where your shift cable would actually go on, which then rotates the lever here. This lever goes, you can't really see that well from this angle, but your lever goes through here. Oh my God. Goes through right here, which then goes into this, and it's keyed, so that way, hopefully it don't fall off. So that way when you rotate and turn it, then you're able to move all those gears. So Finally got that, or the roll pin back onto that. The pin goes in through the circle by like 1/4 of an inch, or if you were to split a circle into like 5 pieces, it'd be 1/5 of that circle is where a roll pin would sit. So that way it can rest into these detents right here and keep this from backing in and out of that hole. Well, because of the damage that was on this, the pin had formed to that half circle and I couldn't get it out. So we've been struggling. I'm on day 2 of trying to get that out. And so for any of you who have a problem getting that out or don't have a welder like I don't at the moment, I ended up taking a drill bit and drilled into the roll pin a little bit, and it broke off, but it was able to straighten that out through that hole. And then I got in the hole with a nail and tried to pry behind it a little bit, hammer in. I didn't want to mess up the case a lot, so got the pin out a little behind there, and it started collapsing the pin in the middle. So I came in through the backside, kept working it back and forth, and finally split that pin in the middle. Was able to get the top half off to slide the bottom of the pin up into the hole to then take it out. So it's done. We finally got it. We got all the parts. This part was bent. We tried to hammer it back out and straighten it, but it started cracking along here. So we just went to U-Pull-It not too long ago. Got some new parts. Obviously got that part so it's not damaged. The spring. Found a drive shaft as well because we don't have a front drive shaft on here for the 4x4, so we ended up getting a drive shaft. We also got a front bumper, which looks good. But overall, not too bad. We got the shift cable, trans filter, trans gasket, 17 quarts of fluid because it's a E4OD. Starter solenoid, front bumper. We got side window, so that way this guy is broke out, so we got a window for that. We'll be replacing that as well. And the battery, yeah, we got a battery as well too. Will's been helping me out. So everybody, this is Will. He owns Bob Lou's Tattoos here in Kearney, so go hit him up. They do really good work. Friendly place, badass business. So
today, man.
so check them out. Now we'll probably get the GoPro up underneath. I'll try to get the best lighting that I can, kind of show you guys the reassembly of that. And then when I get stuff in, before we put the trans pan back on, I'll try to cycle the gears and see if everything's kosher working. Put everything back in, fill fluid. And there is a, I don't want to say a nick, but a chunk taken out of the transfer case on the top. So I'm thinking that it won't cause big issue as far as spilling fluid or anything, but I'll show you guys. Not sure if you guys can see, but right there we got a definitely got an issue there. And I do know there's a plug there. I don't know if that's just telling if it's in 4x, but we do need to solve that. So not so sure. Let's make sure that we get things in gear. We're able to get everything all fixed up, get it put into gear, and then maybe worry about that later and possibly just try to find a transfer case to then replace that. So otherwise, not sure what to really do, but I want to get this up and running today, hopefully. Big fingers crossed. So we'll wait to put the drive shaft in, because I still would have to get U-joints for that. Let's be in a business, so let's get into it, guys. All right, guys, I'm dirty.
everything went back together good. We did have a problem with the shifter cable. We weren't getting into first. Had to do a little adjustment on the cable, and I think, so future reference, if any of you guys are putting in a cable, I had it to where we went into first, then I hooked up the cable, and then we went into park, and that seemed to do the trick as far as to figure out where the cable needs to be at. There is on the underside of the vehicle where the cable is, there's a clip that you can pull up or push down, and it allows some adjustment in there. So being able to adjust it while it was in first, which was almost all the way pulled in, or it was all the way pulled in, then I could adjust it, and then it would push itself all the way back out. But long story short, that was a pain in the ass. So now Will's putting fluid in here. We have to do about, said 16, 17 quarts. I'm assuming that's for the transfer case and stuff as well, which the transfer case does have some fluid in it. There is a hole on that top, and I'm just hoping that it can bypass. If it starts leaking out of it, whatever. I just want to make sure that this thing rolls. I don't know if I had showed, but we did get, well, that's Will's butt, but we did get a front bumper. It looks real good. So there's our front bumper. Right here, I'll show you the old one. That's where the damage was at. It's not bad. From the front, you can tell the driver's or the passenger side right there hangs a little bit lower. I think the bumper's just tweaked. We got it out of Anderson's. But here's the, don't mind my little junkyard. But there's the other bumper. She was really f***ed up. So pretty happy about that. All in all, we are not into this truck too deep as far as repairing it and parts and whatnot, but fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Hopefully she moves on her own power. If so, then we don't have to pull a transmission, which that's huge. And then we can figure out if the hole in that transfer case is going to cause any issues. If so, then I'm going to look into finding a transfer case. But we'll see. So now finish putting fluid in, start it, make sure that the solenoid works to start it, and then put it in gear to make sure that the vehicle moves. And if so, I'll be so happy. It's been a long day nailing my head on everything underneath. Will's been awesome helping me out, doing everything, just tagging along and being a helping hand when needed. So big props to you, bud. I fucking appreciate you. Yeah, for real, for real. Hey, show the logo of the Bobaloos. That way people need to see.
What, the hand?
Yeah.
You tattooed that on me.
Yeah, no.
I need some lotion, man. You know how old people get.
Hey, we working on cars. But yeah, Bobaloos, man, check them out. So let's see if we can get started. We'll finish fueling this up and then go from there. All right, now shut the door.
Got it.
And then you're going to just put it in reverse, let off, and see if it rolls.
Okay.
And then go into drive, see if it rolls forward, and then just back into park. Can you go?
Yeah, that didn't sound good. That might be needing more fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right, guys. Round 2.
Start her up.
All right, give it a try. Do not give it gas. Go to neutral. Let off the brake. Brake. Drive. Let off the brake. Brake. Go back to park. Don't force it. Holy shit.
I just barely touched park and I was like, shit.
Okay, so.
It's going.
Going. Round 3.
Do it quick. Blake, tell us what your thoughts are right now.
It feels like it wants to go into gear. You can feel it kind of wanting to, but there's nothing. So maybe clutch packs or something. But yeah, it's not going into gear. So I don't want to say we wasted our day, but I'm going to double check fluid and make sure that we got enough fluid. And
How many quarts we in right now? 15?
yeah, 15 quarts. So it said 17, 18, so maybe that'll be the difference, but I doubt it. I don't know whether it's, I want to say it's got to be something clutch related, I guess, but I don't know. I'm getting discouraged. So as far as fluid goes, alright, so let's wipe this. And then oh, we should have fluid. I'll do one more.
Okay.
Yeah, we got fluid. So I suppose for now I'm gonna do some researching, see what forms say and whatnot. Maybe do some poking around and see if maybe I just forgot a step or something, and kind of go from there. So stay tuned, guys. We'll get her figured out.
Hey, not a problem, bro.
Okay, so looking through things, and I was thinking of the 4-wheel drive and stuff. So I had Will check 4-wheel drive, and what did you find?
Well, the 4-wheel drive shifter was in 4-wheel drive neutral. So now I have it going into 2-wheel drive high.
Okay.
So
we're thinking that maybe that may have been causing us to be neutral for everything, and we was getting that little bit of a grind. So fingers crossed that this will work. But only one way to find out. So
Ready?
Yep. Yes! Yeah. Go into neutral. Let off. Go into drive. Hell yeah, stop. Woo! Let's go! Hell yeah. Alright, kill it. Yeah, go to park. Woo! Let's fucking go! Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah. Alright, kill that bitch. Kill it. Hell yeah. Woo! Oh, I'm so fucking happy, dude.
Yes.
Solid.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, we fucking got it, guys. We got it. So, now I think next best bet on this is that we'll end up, we'll get everything cleaned up here as far as tools, as far as everything else that we got drug out, and make sure that we're clear to roll out so that way we're not poking into tires or nothing like that. Then we'll just do a test drive around the block. Make sure that it's good. Come back, full detail this bitch, and call it a day, because, oh, that makes me so happy we don't have to pull that trans. So, let's get shit cleaned up. Let's go.
Hell yeah.